Have you been hearing about alt season, about it getting started, and altcoins, and wondering which ones you should be in? In this video, I'm going to go through the top 100 altcoins, but handpick a selection of around 25 of those that I think have the best utility or strong communities or strong fundamentals. And we're going to have a look at them and have a look at the charts, and we're going to see whether they look like they're performing well, whether they're going to make new all-time highs, or whether they're going to be left in the dust in this cycle. So come and join the video. Welcome back to Prodigal Son Crypto. This is my first altcoin special where I'm going to be breaking down many altcoins in one show. I'm going to be looking at some of the fundamental use cases for them briefly, and then looking at the charts, see where they're at. Let's jump in. So no macro analysis or news today. It's just strictly altcoins and charts, okay? And these are some of the coins we're going to be going through today. So we're going to go through Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Solana, Cardano, Hyperliquid, Sui, Chainlink, AERO, Avalanche, Ton, Uniswap, BitTensor, Near, Ondo, Algorand, Polygon MATIC, VChain, Say, Fetch, Jupiter, Celestia, Injective, PancakeSwap, Pyth, Aerodrome, and Radium. Does that sound good to you? Here we go. So Ethereum is a decentralized smart contract platform. It lets developers build apps that run without middlemen. It uses ETH as its native currency to pay for transactions, gas fees, and staking. It's the foundation of DeFi, NFTs, Web3, empowering the most of the crypto ecosystem. And you can see that here by some of these numbers, yeah? 172 billion in value locked on DeFi, okay? Let's look at the chart. Okay, so Ethereum currently sitting around 3,700, all-time highs around, here we go, it's up here. It's all-time highs at 4,875. Okay, let's look at where it's going now. Okay, so it's approaching this 4,000 level. Okay, it's looking strong. It is looking strong. It's had a good bounce, you know. It's not done well against its Bitcoin pair, but I think it's starting to make some really serious moves, and I do believe we're going to see all-time highs soon. Okay, the daily EMAs are all looking very bullish. Okay, and let's project where we could see this going. Okay, so we'll get the fib extension. Okay, let's draw this out on the macro as well. Okay, so we go from low, higher, back to low again. Okay, as we can see, 618 here, 1618 here is at 7,385. The 2618 is at 11,331. Okay. It's looking good for Ethereum. It's got strong fundamentals. It's a key part. It was the first ever smart contract platform. We know the institutions are loading up on it since the ETH ETF, and now they're going to introduce the staking ETF. So yeah, things are looking good for Ethereum. So we're going through these in market cap order. Okay, so next up, XRP is a digital currency designed for fast, low-cost cross-border payments, created by Ripple Labs. Transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, making it one of the fastest cryptos for transferring value globally. XRP is decentralized, but Ripple plays a key role in promoting its adoption by banks and financial institutions. Very popular one is XRP. Very big, strong community. Got quite a lot of attention on social media at the moment. If you go onto like things like TikTok or Instagram, all you see people talking about. I don't believe it's got the strongest fundamentals. I think it's got a lot of institutional backing. But one thing that's misleading that people say about XRP is that it's deflationary. Well, that might be the case, but it only burns 0.00 something XRP for every transaction, and there's only been millions of XRP burned, and I think there's like something like 100 billion supply. So I believe XRP will continue to make new highs. I just don't like the fact that 50% of the supply is held by the founders. So even though they say it's deflationary, you know, there's still a lot of supply held that could be dumped on the retail investors. Okay. And we know that's what smart money likes to do. So it's breaking its all-time highs. Let's have a look at the fib extensions. So if we go from cycle low back to previous high, back to low, and then we see where this can go. Okay, so next levels we're looking at around $5.44, okay, and $8.74. Okay, so there'd be good levels to hit for XRP, and I'm sure the supporters and loyalists who've been in this for a long time, they're gonna be very happy with that result. I mean, for me to have been holding a coin for that long, I would have wanted to see better gains. I mean, this has been awful this whole time. But like I say, they were in that lawsuit, and they're out of that now. And what I want to now look at is XRP breaking this line here, okay, from this high to this high. As you can see, we've come up to it and tapped it. So we want to see it gather some strength. Will it build support here around 330, okay? Or will you see it come back to these zones, have a retest or something? As I highlighted in my previous video, Bitcoin dominance probably due a bounce, so some of these coins could pull back. BNB is the native token of the Binance ecosystem, used to pay trading fees at a discount on the Binance exchange. It powers Binance Smart Chain, BSC, a fast, low-cost blockchain for DeFi, NFTs, and dApps. BNB is deflationary, with regular token burns, reducing its total supply over time, and those tokenomics are confirmed as well. Let's look at the chart. Okay, so BNB has been doing very well. It's a bit of an underdog, really, because you don't see a lot of people talking about it. Yeah, it's like what is it? It's the number 5 blockchain. Okay, and yeah, it just doesn't get talked about enough. And you know, Binance is one of the strongest exchanges there is. It's got one of the most liquidity, most trading volume, and the coin's underrated. I think maybe some people think that the gains are maybe not there. Well, let's have a look. Okay, so it's almost approaching its all-time highs. Okay, have a look. Is that all-time highs? Yeah. So it made an all-time high back in November, around the election, December. Sorry. And let's have a look what it's going to do. Mention. Take it from these lows here up to the all-time high, back down to those lows again, and we can see where we could be heading for Binance Smart Chain's BNB token. Okay, the 1618 is actually at $980. Okay, that'd be a nice move, and then the 2618 here at $1,272. Okay, and let's look at where we are. And it's obviously had quite a sharp move. So could you see to get some entries here around 696? That would be really cool. If not, if you want to get in, then maybe start laying your entries from $718 down to around $694. I'm not thinking you're going to get down here again, because we've just built up a lot of support and resistance here, and we've broken clear of it now. So you've got to get in where you can if you want to get in on that one. Solana is a high-speed blockchain built for scalable, low-cost, decentralized apps and crypto projects. It uses unique proof-of-history system, enabling thousands of transactions per second. Solana powers top projects in DeFi, NFTs, and gaming, making it a leading Ethereum alternative. And for full disclosure, I'm a big holder of Solana. It's one of my top bags. Really believe in this ecosystem. It's very strong. It's got so many different dApps for different use cases, and I think it's the next one to get an ETF. It's already started to get like a small ETFs actually with staking. I believe some of the bigger firms like BlackRock, etc., do a Solana ETF. I think it's got some of the most bullish fundamentals in crypto. Let's look at the chart. Okay, so it's had a great run in this cycle so far. It's actually, if you wasn't holding Solana or Sui, Hyperliquid, a few others, then sorry, the airplane flying over right now. If you wasn't holding those, then you've been very much underperforming this cycle so far. Luckily, two of my biggest bags are Solana and Sui. I just dug into the fundamentals and I believed in them, and I made sure that they became my biggest bags, and it's paid off so far. Okay, not all of my portfolio has outperformed Bitcoin, no way, but like a large percentage of it has done very, very well. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of coins that didn't do too well as well. So, but that's the name of the game, isn't it? Okay, so Solana is now testing this 180 level. Okay, it's got a very bullish structure. Okay, as you can see from this upwards trend. Okay, it didn't even make it down to the trend line in the last dip there, and now it looks like it could be breaking 180. Okay, I think it will quickly go to 260, 295, and then you're at all-time highs. I can't believe I saw someone on the Paul Barron network, an analyst, and he was saying that he didn't believe Solana was make a new all-time high in this cycle. Yeah, I don't think he could be any more wrong. Okay, daily EMAs are starting to tick up bullish again after this consolidation. It's looking good for Solana. The RSI here, bring that over so you can see it on the daily, has got plenty of room to run. This could be popping off very, very soon. Cardano is a proof-of-stake blockchain focused on security, scalability, and sustainability. ADA is its native token used for staking, governance, and transactions within the network. Cardano takes a scientific, peer-reviewed approach to development, aiming to build the most robust blockchain infrastructure. And disclosure on Cardano as well, also one of my biggest holdings. I was in this from 2021. I'm accumulated a bit more in the bear market of 22, 23 as well. So it is one of my bigger bags. And I just think fundamentally, it always gets beaten down, saying, you know, like Solana's got more users, Sui's got faster development, you know, all of that sort of stuff. But it is one of the most decentralized blockchains. And when you get certain institutions, nation states that will want to use a blockchain, they will want that level of security. That's why they're all looking at Ethereum now. And I think on that sort of tip, the next one is Cardano. And, you know, it's still got plenty of way to go to its all-time high. If we zoom out and show the previous cycle, okay, right, so old all-time high. This is actually where I took profit on a lot of my Cardano back in 2021. Okay, maybe I did start buying back a bit too soon. Yes, but yeah, it did very well in that last cycle. And when it moves, like if you see in the previous cycle, when it moved, it took these sharp moves. It goes sideways, Freddy. Sharp move, sideways, sharp move, sideways, sharp move. Okay, and lots of sideways action. Okay, and it done that through the bear market as well. Sideways action, sharp moves, yeah, and sideways action. That bit was so dull there. Sharp moves, okay, and it's done this sideways and consolidation action, and I'd say that there could be one of those sharp moves. And I like the way this got this historic channel here. Okay, these lines, these historic diagonals here, and look at this one with the top from the old previous cycles, all-time high from 2017. This is an old coin. They might call this a dinosaur coin, but I think it's out of all the dinosaur coins, apart from Doge as well, and XRP. They're the three probably with the most strongest narratives and use cases and everything like that, and just community, strong believers, strong holders. And yeah, like if it could get up there, you know, by the, you know, end of the year. So where's that? November, you could be sitting around $8. Okay, let's look at it on the fib extensions. Okay, and let's take it from these lows here to this high here, back to these lows here. Okay, and this is more near term. Okay, Fibonacci levels. Okay, and you've got 180, 260, and then 348. Okay, let's zoom that. Let's do that again on the more macro time frame. Okay, get it from the all-time high down to the lows and see where this could go cyclically. Okay, from the lows the highs, that's the lows. Okay. Right. There you go. These fib levels up here, these higher fib levels are targeting this up this line here. Okay, I believe it's going to get there. I believe that's going to take out the old all-time high of $3, and then we're going to get maybe another X or two up there. Hyperliquid is a decentralized perpetual futures exchange offering high-speed trading without a central authority. It runs entirely on chain with near zero gas fees and instant trade execution. No wallets or bridging required. Its native token, Hyper, rewards traders and governs the protocol with strong community and narrative behind the momentum in the DeFi space. Let's have a look at Hyperliquid. Quite a new token for this year. I think it came out, end of last year, December, it was launched. And it had a great launch, then tanked off. Then it's just had a fantastic climb. I know it's got a lot of liquidity. I just feel like it's so fresh. I don't believe the community is that strong. I believe most people in this are in it for gains. And as soon as this takes a turn for the worse, I believe it's going to come down pretty hard. But then again, it is one of those new shiny things for this cycle. So let's have a look at where the fib extensions could take us. So let's take it from that high to the low. Sorry, done that wrong. Let's take it from this low, this high, back to the low. And we are looking at $77. So it's got to break through this. It's right there now at that fib level. This is the power of fib levels, okay? You can see it's right there. Okay, and it's took a little pause, okay? This is looking at it on the weekly, actually. I've got most of the charts on the daily today, but let's just look at this one on the weekly. Okay, so we're looking at $77 next, and we're looking at $103, $118 as future targets. Okay, if you want to get into this one, I would say wait for a decent pullback. If you can get back down to this, well, maybe 35, but it might not get there. If you want to get into it, you know, sometimes if you just think that it's going to run for the rest of the cycle, you could just get in. I think sometimes people think, oh, I wish I'd been down there, but this one's got hype, you know, literally by its name, you know, and yeah, it's probably going to carry on going, okay, unless you get some sort of fundamental scare with it. And that's what makes me a bit wary of this, because being in previous cycles, that I know when you get these coins with hot new narratives, something can just blow up. I mean, I don't know if anyone saw what happened with Mantra. Yeah, when they run, they get very high valuations. They've got no real strong community, not like a big community of builders. Yeah, it is literally just hype. Pyth is a high-performance Layer 1 blockchain built for instant settlement and high throughput. Developed by Miston Labs, it uses the Move programming language originally created by Meta, Facebook, designed for secure and scalable smart contracts. Pyth focuses on speed, gaming, and user-friendly apps with a unique parallel execution that enables low-latency transactions. And this is it is my biggest holding, actually, just because it's done so well. And I got into this early last year. I could just see that there was a strong movement of the Solana community going over to Sui. And then I started looking into its fundamentals, and I saw it already had its ecosystem built out, DeFi protocols, DEXs, everything was there, ready to go. It's fast, it's user-friendly. It's now on the Phantom app as well as Solana and Ethereum. And it's got really strong fundamentals. It's got the 0x Play gaming device. There's going to be Sui games, and yeah, it's going to do well. It's going to continue to do well. And it's outperforming its Bitcoin pair, it's outperforming its ETH pair, and it's outperforming its Solana pair. Probably one of the best bets for the cycle. Okay, so let's look at where this can go. Okay, so it's obviously got to come up and break its all-time high here, about $5.40. Okay, but I believe it's going to get up there. And when it does, then you're looking at 760, 1130, 1490, 1720. I believe it could go all the way. I believe this is going to be in the top 10 easily by the end of the cycle. Maybe up in that top half of the top 10 as well. Maybe 6th, 5th, sort of that area. Okay. Yeah, because I believe some of the other coins might lose their dominance, and I think this might have exponential growth. Okay. And yeah, great one for the cycle. The RSI on the weekly is not overcooked. It's had plenty of time to come down, cool down. It's reset. It's starting to take its move up. Yeah, brilliant bet for the cycle. Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle network that connects smart contracts to real-world data prices, like prices, weather, and events. It enables smart contracts on any blockchain to securely interact with off-chain data and APIs. Link is a native token used to pay node operators and secure the Oracle services through staking. And I think this is a big institutional bet here. Okay, I'm also a holder of Link, and I have been since 2020, 2021. And if you look at the run that this had, it was one of the massive outperformers. It was a new coin in 2021, 2020, and it had a fantastic run. And then its price has been suppressed, and it accumulated so well through the bear market. I was looking at this as just a beautiful accumulation range. It's a great macro chart here, because now it's got higher highs, higher lows, and yeah, this could keep running for the rest of the cycle. And I believe it's a good long-term play as well. I think this is a multi-cycle play. I believe it's integrated itself so deeply into crypto's fundamentals with Ethereum and now other chains as well, that it's going to be there for real-world assets, data, everything. Is for the connection of like TradFi to DeFi. It's massive. And where can it go? Take it from the lows, higher, lows again. Okay, let's see where this can go. And as you can see, some of these lines are actually matching up quite nicely with some of these fib levels. Okay, so it's still got a lot of resistance to get through. And one of the reasons I think it's been held down a lot, there was a lot of sell pressure from the founders from the organization to fund its operations. But I believe they're now probably going to let this one go and do what it's going to do. And if it can start taking out the all-time high of around $50, next targets are $83, $130, $180, $210. Can it get there? Let's see. There's a lot of coins in this cycle, so I'm not sure how much past the all-time high it gets. But I think it's a long-term play. I think you could probably hold this for future cycles as well. Not recommending you do that. Obviously, you get deep, dark bear markets, and yeah, it's not nice being left holding the bag. But I believe it's going to be around for many years to come. It's integrated in this industry. AERO is a public distributed ledger that uses a unique technology called the hash graph, not a traditional blockchain. It offers ultra-fast, low-cost, energy-efficient transactions, ideal for enterprise and government use cases. HBAR is the native token used for transaction fees, network security, and staking. And the chart for HBAR is looking pretty good, actually. Like very much like Link, had a very long accumulation range, and it really spiked around the US election dates. Yeah. When they talked about the American coins and the dinosaur coins getting ETFs and the digital asset stockpile, this got mentioned. So it took a massive pump there, come down, reclaimed about 50% of that move. And now it's starting to make its move up again. It's trying to test this 27-cent level. Okay, if you can get past 27 cents, yeah, you've got 41 cents, which is near the all-time high, and the all-time high is sitting around 56 cents. It does look like it had a really nice retraceable like bull flag here on the weekly. And then it's created this W formation, and then the weekly EMAs have now ticked up bullish. Yeah, this could be going for all-time highs very soon. Where would you want to get entries? Well, if it gets rejected from this 26-cent level, then it's possibly going to come down to this 20 cent level. That could be a good place to set some orders. So just layer them in 20 cents. I'm not a holder of this one. I did look at it very closely a couple of years ago, and yeah, just other things just took my fancy a bit more than this. But it's very much integrated in the community of crypto. It's got great tech. And I believe, like it said on the page there, that it could have institutional use case here. So yeah, it's one to watch. And yeah, if you're a holder of that, good luck to you. Avalanche is a high-speed EVM layer 1 blockchain known for its low fees, fast finality and scalability. It uses a unique consensus model that allows thousands of transactions per second without comprising decentralization. Avalanche supports multiple interoperable blockchains, including custom subnets for specific apps and institutions. And a very big one for gaming. I don't know if you heard about the Gunzilla game Off the Grid that was launched on AVAX. It's making a lot of big partnerships with big brands. I believe Avalanche is going to be very successful. Let's look at the chart. Okay, so this is an interesting chart for Avalanche, okay, because I love these higher lows here. When you zoom out on this, on the from afar, you can see that there's just higher lows. Although it's been held down for so long, and it's really has accumulated massively. And it's still at a great entry price, I believe. You know, I know I've got this logarithmic curve here, and you can say what you want about it. But on the long term, does it get up there? Who knows? Does it do it in this cycle? Who knows? But let's put this on the weekly and do some fib extension targets, okay? So low, that again, get the low, high, low again. See where we're at. Okay, so providing we can get up to all-time high, like I say, it's great entry price here. Some people might say this is an underperformer, but like I say, some of these altcoins can take very sharp moves up, yeah? All of a sudden you think they're an underperformer, and then all of a sudden they're an overperformer. They're being hyped up all on social media or on YouTube and everything. And then you're like, oh, I missed the optimal entry prices, okay? Things can turn around very quickly for these coins. So if it takes you out the all-time high, then we're looking at $235, okay? That's a 10x, okay? That's a pretty good investment if you ask me. I think the fundamentals are really good for AVAX. Can't see it going away. It's going to do well. Even to get up to the all-time high, $117, $119. Okay, that's great. Ton is a layer 1 blockchain originally developed by Telegram, now maintained by the open source community. It's designed for speed, scalability, mass adoption, supporting millions of transactions per second. Ton integrates deeply with Telegram, powering features like wallets, payments, and mini apps directly inside the messenger, and also Telegram games as well. Have a look at the chart. So let's look at the chart for Telegram's Ton coin. Okay. You may have heard that the CEO of Telegram actually got held in custody in Paris due to believing that he knew or understood about what was going on the app in regards to illegal activity. Many of you may know the type of thing that goes on Telegram. I won't talk about it on here, but I think that's out of his control. It's a decentralized messaging app, a cryptographic messaging app. Okay, so he wouldn't be aware or be able to control everything that's going on there. It's like trying to control the internet, So yeah, that's why they released him. Throughout that time, Telegram. Before that, Telegram had a great run, and then from then it just pulled back a lot. And it's in a good place to buy. I mean, look at this long trend of higher lows. Could be an optimal buying entry right here, right now for Ton. To get up to the all-time high, you've got gains of 155% to all-time highs. If we do the fib extension, You know, you could be getting up to breaking the all-time highs, then onto 11.90 at the 1618, to $17 at the 2618. 3618, $23. You know, that's from around $3 right now. That would be a great move. So it could be one to put on your shopping list there. I think it's on my watch list for sure, because I just know that Telegram is just such a popular and most used app there is. You know, I think apart from WhatsApp, Telegram's the most used, and it's got a lot of crypto community on there, gaming communities. They're all using that. It's like as well as Discord, etc. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange DEX on Ethereum, allowing anyone to trade tokens without a central party. It uses an automated market maker AMM model, where users provide liquidity and earn fees instead of using traditional order books. Uni is the governance token, letting holders vote on its protocol, upgrades and treasury decisions. So yeah, Uniswap is definitely the most used DEX on Ethereum, and it's going to continue to be so. And it got away from the SEC. It's going to have regulation. The only problem is probably is quite centralized. As much as it's saying decentralized DEX, it is, but I think there's a centralization within the with the team as well. So looking at the chart for Uni, it's another one of these 2021 coins that just did fantastically well, and then has been in this long accumulation. Okay, and we thought we was getting out of it, and then it just come back down hard into it again. You know, accumulating Uni in this area though, I think is great long term. I do believe it's going to get up there. It's still, you know, higher lows, and then it's held there in a range, and then it's looks like it's breaking up now on the weekly. The weekly 5 and 13 are turning bullish. It's overcome the 50. It's now testing the 200 week, and yeah, its potential is there. It could get to, you know, the all-time high is $44. It's got a lot of resistance to get through. Well, not too much, but it needs to really get through these areas where it's struggled before. Maybe some sell pressure, but the fundamentals for Uni are strong. Some AI now for you with Bitensa and its token TAO, TAO. Bitensa is a decentralized network for machine learning where AI models compete and collaborate to earn rewards. It creates global neural internet, allowing anyone to contribute intelligence and get paid in TAO tokens. TAO is a native token used to incentivize useful AI work and govern the network. And TAO is one of those ones that I've wanted to get into for some time. I remember I knew about it back here in late 2024, and then I watched it rise up and was like, damn, should have got some of that. And then it came down, and I was like, I should buy it. But as you can see, I was setting alerts here. I've got me, you know, alarm clocks here for when it hits these levels. And I think at the time it happened at a time where maybe I didn't have the capital to put in there, and you know, I wanted to get a significant position of it, and yeah, just missed the boat there again. And then, you know, and then I was thinking about it here, and I was thinking if it can just come back down to 250 or 200 again, I'm in. And it didn't. It moved again, so I'm still sitting on the sidelines with this one. I do want to get in. I'm trying to resist the FOMO. You have to do that, but maybe at the next optimal entry, I'll do that. And look, I mean, this is what I could be looking at. So let's get a little trend line here. Okay, so do something like that. If it can come down to here again, you know, maybe that'll be a good entry. I just don't want to buy it at the highs. It's never worth aping in at the highs. There's always a better opportunity to come. Like I say, I've got a lot of bags that I've built up since 2022, 23, but buying heavily in the bear market. So I'm not too bothered about missing out on certain coins, although I do really like the fundamentals for this one. I like the supply and tokenomics. I won't go into that too much here, but very much like Bitcoin, I think it's a 21 million supply and, you know, fixed supply and stuff like that. And, Yeah, I just think it sounds like a really great token. Near is a layer 1 blockchain built for speed, low fees, and developer-friendly smart contracts. It uses nightshade sharding, allowing the network to scale efficiently without sacrificing decentralization. Near supports human readable account names like u.near and is focused on onboarding the next billion users through simple UX. And it is a very nice chain to use, actually. It's got similar elements as things such as Solana and Sui and everything like that. It's got the whole ecosystem built out already. I just think it's had a little bit of a rough time recently, but whenever there's an alt season, this coin has always really outperformed. It sits back first of all, and then when it all gets going, it really pops. Let's have a look at the chart. Such a choppy and volatile coin is Near. Okay, look at this volatility here. It's massive. Okay, and when it runs, like we see, it really runs. Okay, look at these runs it has. Okay, and maybe we've got one starting now. Okay, we've got bearish divergence here on the RSI. Sorry, bullish divergence here on the RSI, and it's turning bullish on the weekly with the 5 and 13 EMAs. It's still got to overcome its 50, its 200. It's got to break this downtrend. There's so much work for it to do. It has got strong fundamentals. It's got a great team behind it. I think it struggled to gain as much traction as things like Sui and Solana, though. But nevertheless, the builders keep building. It's still got plenty of liquidity. And yeah, like it just needs to get to work, really. Okay, this is a nice little W bottom formation, though. So, and like I say, when it sees it, and also in previous times when its price action is poor, it looks very, very poor. Look at these drops it has, really harsh. Okay, but when it moves fast. And yeah, maybe we could start seeing some fast moves. I mean, look, all it takes is 3 or 4 good weeks, and then all of a sudden you're up there, and then you're out overtaking these highs, and then before you know it, a few weeks more, and you could be up at all-time highs. So it's one of them ones. It is a bit of a chance to take, but do your own research, obviously, on the fundamentals, and then you can see whether you believe it's going to do well. I'm still holding mine Near, for full disclosure. I believe it's going to do it, but like I say, it has lagged behind a lot of the other chains where they've really performed well. But maybe this was performing quite well early on in October and November, and this is 23-24, so it was performing well in that time when not a lot of other stuff was. I remember it when it was doing well, because I'd been accumulating this in 2022, 23, and I saw this move, and it became one of my biggest bags for a temporary period. Then it's just not done so well. Around the US elections here, it didn't move as much as other things did. But keep your eye on Near, because I like to say, do your own research on the tech and the team and everything, and you'll see that it's fundamentally quite a good coin. Ondo brings real-world assets, RWAs, like US treasuries and bonds on-chain, making traditional finance accessible via crypto. It offers tokenized products like OUSG token and treasuries, and partners with institutions like BlackRock and Coinbase. Ondo is the governance token used to vote on protocol decisions and benefit from the platform's growth. So I'm not a big fan of governance tokens as such. I don't think it really provides that much utility. But what I do believe Ondo will get is hype due to its BlackRock and Coinbase connections. And when we look at the chart for Ondo, had a great run around the US elections. That was when it really started to get a lot of notice. The real world asset coins were pumping. Mantra was outperforming Ondo massively, but Ondo was still doing great. But the good thing about the difference between Mantra and Ondo is Ondo's still here and has all of those great institutional connections, whereas Mantra, I think, is dead in the water now. Whether it was a hack or a scam or whatever was going on there. I know the CEO came out saying, we're going to do everything we can to get this back. I think it's lost it. It's lost its narrative, whereas Ondo is still a great pick. Now, we look at the RSI, it's ticking up again. Let's squeeze that up a little bit so you can see a bit more formation. almost like a V-shaped recovery here, or you could say it was a double W with a lower low, but now it's starting to push up higher. It's at this resistance level of around $1. I think once it breaks $1, like when it broke this 76 level again, when it broke up, it only just went down there. It didn't want to stay down there at all. It went down there once, went down there twice, and then there was like this big range, and it's gone straight to the top of the range. So will it trade down here again? It's possible, or maybe it just comes down to this level here around 94. You've got to, it's tight to get your entries on this one. I'm already holding some from back in early 24, but yeah, it's going to get there. I think it's got to just break through these resistance levels here around the 110, 115, 125. I think once it does that, I think you'll find yourself quickly at $2. And then if we do some fib extensions on this, then we'll take it from this low to the all-time high, back to the low again, and then we'll see what we're looking at for Ondo. So if it breaks the all-time high, I reckon we're going straight to $3. Okay, and 450's a possibility as well. I'm not so sure about due to the size of market cap and whether it can get enough traction for that. But then again, this could be a long-term play as well. But like I say, for this cycle, maybe 450, but that's great, 4-5x, up there. So yeah, a good pick for the cycle. I think it's going to get the hype drive again. Polygon is a layer 2 for scaling solutions for Ethereum, offering fast, low-cost transactions for DeFi, gaming, and real-world apps. Polymarket, a popular prediction market platform, runs on Polygon, enabling users to bet on real-world events with low fees. MATIC is Polygon's native token, but it's renamed to POL recently for gas fees, staking, and governance. For its transition from POL to POL recently, a few months ago now from MATIC. And you know what? MATIC was actually one of my best performers in 2021, actually, and it's probably the coin that's made me the most of any coin. I was getting in here around these 18 cents. It was about 15, 18 cents, 16 cents. I was accumulating it here. I just believed in its narrative, and I just kept accumulating it. And then I just didn't expect it to go like that, though. And I took profits. I traded it a few times. And when I saw this, back then I was looking at things on lower time frames. And I think it was like this exact week here, I was looking at it on a lower time frame chart. And I just thought, this is looking silly and toppy now. And everyone was talking about it. And I was like, I feel like it's time to get out. And luckily, I literally sold near enough the top on MATIC, which was great. It made me a nice bit of wedge to get into more cryptos at the time. Maybe I shouldn't have aped into so many other altcoins near the highs of the cycle, though. But you live and you learn. But it's had an awful time. But, I believe it's because Ethereum's had an awful time. So if Ethereum can start having a good time, so in 2021, whenever Ethereum moved, Polygon moved more. So I'm not sure if that's the case now. If I looked at Ethereum from its low, okay, let's say from its low, yeah, it's gone up 168%, okay. And if I look at MATIC, Polygon, POL, I just can't get used to calling it POL. It's just always been MATIC. When you look at this from its low, it's only up around 60%. So it's not outperforming ETH at the moment. But maybe that could start to change, okay? Because you know what? If it could start to reclaim some of these levels, okay, let's see what percentages we're looking at, okay? So if you can start getting up similar sort of price action to Ethereum, like making a higher high and stuff like that, you're talking 400%. But can it move like that? I'm not sure. How high is it to the all-time high from where it is now? It's a 10x. It's a 10x. But like I say, everyone's looking at Polymarket. There's a lot of use case and great partnerships with Polygon. I think it can come back. I do believe it can come back. But the scary thing about Polygon is If it was to lose these levels, I just never thought it was going to come back down that far in the bear market. If it was to lose this level, you could be coming back down to 4 cents. But I think this is the bottom. Look, this is a weekly chart, yeah? Look how much accumulation's there. It's a nice W pattern, starting to turn bullish. The whole market's starting to turn bullish. This could quickly pick up again. Algorand is a high-speed layer 1 blockchain built for fast, secure, and decentralized transactions with instant finality and low fees. It uses pure proof of stake, allowing any algo holder to participate in its consensus and earn rewards without needing expensive hardware. Algorand powers tokenized assets, CBDCs, and fintech apps with real-world use cases across governments, institutions, and DeFi. Okay, so I used to be a holder of Algo, actually. I didn't sell it because I didn't like it. I sold it because Sui came around, and I had to choose some stuff to offload to get into Sui as heavy as I wanted to. So I offloaded on Polkadot and Algorand. You know, two chains with great technology, great leaders. You know, you've got Silvio Micali for Algorand. He's one of MIT. You know, he was an early founder of blockchain technology, and Gavin Wood of Polkadot. You know, he's a legend from Ethereum, and I really believed in these chains, but I wasn't seeing positive enough activity. I was always having a problem trying to stake my Algorand as well. I just thought it wasn't simple enough. You should be able to just go onto a dApp, connect your wallet, you know, stake it. I didn't think the wallets were good at the time, and I didn't think the staking was easy enough at the time. Let's look at the chart. Algorand, another one from 2021, you know, and earlier than that. It's not had a good time with price action. It's been very hard to be a holder of Algo. Particularly if you're even from 2021, you know, it never managed to get above its launch price. It was a great run for Algo, but it had such a harsh decline. Okay, now we're starting to see higher lows, which is great. I want to see it get above this 63-cent level before I'd get too bullish on it. It looks like it's just tapped the 200-day week EMA. And you know, how far is it off the all-time highs from say here where it is now to get up to the all-time highs? You know, it's like 8 or 9x, and it's possible the tech's there, but I don't. There are some strong community members and holders, but it's got a lot of sell pressure to get through. I think it can do it. But like I say, it's quite a long way off the all-time high still. I want to see some more. But like I say, when it does move, look, it gets quite a sharp move. You've got a sharp move there around the elections. If you get a little sharp move up there, all of a sudden you're at $1, and you're not too far from all-time highs. Once you get up there, I think it could get beat for it, but has it got enough time to do all of this? That's the thing for this cycle. This is what you have to look at with some of these coins. Has it got enough time to get past that all-time high and then go parabolic? I mean, look, yeah, it's a long way to go, but you know, it's possible. VChain is a layer 1 blockchain focused on real-world supply chain solutions, enabling businesses to track products and verify authenticity. It uses dual token system, VET for value transfer, and VTHO to pay for network transactions. VChain is used by a major enterprises like Walmart, China, BMW, and DHL for logistics, carbon tracking, and traceability. Another one from 2021, VChain. It's been in a long accumulation and it's still struggling to break above it. I mean, let's see what it does when it gets there this time. So if it doesn't make it through this time, I'll be a bit concerned about VChain. It's still under these EMAs. 5 and 13 starting to tick bullish on the weekly. It's got a lot of sell pressure from people who aped into this in 2021. It had a lot of holders. And yeah, there was often a running joke with VChain, don't want to hold VET and stuff from a few YouTubers videos and stuff that, yeah, it just got really sad at the price action, you know, when other things were running up hard. in 2021. It was struggling to get up as high as it was in March. You know, people were hoping it was going to, you know, correct and just go even higher, and it just didn't. And I think just people got left holding the bag for this. So I think there's a lot of sell pressure. I know the team is still working very hard, building a lot of partnerships and everything. So there is potential for this, but the price action's just been a bit, you know, apart from this pump around the elections, but so many things pumped right then. But then again, so many of these bigger cap coins from previous cycles are in these ranges. Now, so it all depends. Is there too many coins, okay, and not enough liquidity to go around? Or is it that these things are accumulating? Because really the market structure of it looks actually like it could be accumulating for a bigger run. It's had higher highs, and it's kind of had higher lows, and you know, it had a lower low there, but it's higher than there, and yeah, it's just there's potential, but it's all a bit of a wait and see. So maybe you might want to wait for a bit of strength before getting into this. Let's see if it can reclaim this level. But yeah, and then you're just hoping that it's going to get to all-time highs again with not enough hype around it anymore, I don't believe. So, I mean, I've still got a bag of VChain from the last cycle. I wasn't too heavy into it, luckily, but yeah, I hope it can do well. Render is a decentralized GPU rendering network, letting users tap into the idle GPU power to render 3D graphics, AI and visual effects. It connects artists and developers with node operators, making it high quality rendering faster and cheaper than centralized options. Render is the native token used to pay for rendering jobs and reward GPU providers, with growing adoption in AI and gaming and in the metaverse. Let's look at the chart. Render's actually not looking too bad, actually. You know, it's already made new all-time highs in this cycle of around 1360. It's got this bullish megaphone structure, and yeah, I just think it's got really good potential. Let's look at the fib extensions. Go from the lows to the high, back to the lows again. Yeah, now bigger. For you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if it could get above, you're going to $20. You're going to 31. You know, it's come down quite a lot off the highs. It has. You know, it went down as low as 270. I can't believe it went. It's very volatile. It went from $13 down to under $3. Okay, but you know, if you was bullish on render and AI and all of that narrative, you know, and you've been accumulating here, yeah, you could be off onto a good one. I mean, this sort of coin is going to move fast. Look, I mean, look it like it did in the previous cycle, you know, and it climbs, just doesn't stop climbing when it goes. So, and this is a W formation, 5 and 13 ticking bullish on the weekly. It's kind of it's managed to hold this 200-week EMA as well. It just needs to get above this 50-week, and then I'd say we're looking bullish. SAY is a high-performance Layer 1 blockchain optimized specifically for trading applications like DEXs and order books. It uses parallelized execution and native order matching, enabling fast, low-latency transactions at scale. SAY is the native token used for gas fees, staking, and governance, with strong traction in DeFi, gaming, and social trading apps. This is a new one with a hot narrative for this cycle. It's actually built on the Cosmos chain on their language. So let's have a look at the chart. SAY was one of those tokens that came around the same time as SUI did, and also Aptos. And at that point, I was like, right, we've got these 3 new chains that are quite fast. Which one should I pick? And I did a lot of deep fundamental research on all 3 of them, and I'd say it come up with SUI like number 1. SAY number 2, Aptos number 3. I weren't keen on Aptos at all. Didn't like the founders, and yeah, I was right. You know, they showed the true colours and left. But SAY is getting a lot of traction. It's looking like a fast chain, good for gaming, and yeah, I think it can do well. So let's see where it can go. and it's probably still in a decent buy zone as well. So go from the low at the cycle to the high, back to the low again. Okay, and then we're looking at, you know, once we get past this 97 or $1 all-time high, you're looking at 178, 280, possibly 380. Okay, it is possible. It's possible. Like I say, it's making it quite a bullish move here, actually. Let's take that off. You know, 5 and 13 taken, 50 EMA taken on the weekly, this is. So, yeah, it just needs to reclaim like 48, 49 cents, and then you know, start challenging 70 cents. I think once it gets past this area here, this is your resistance here, your key resistance. Once you're through that, this should be good to go, I think. RSI size getting quite high. Maybe it could retrace a little bit before making a move up. Fetch is the token for ASI, which is Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. That was formed by Ocean, Singularity.net, and Fetch, but the token's still called Fetch. And it builds decentralized AI agents that automate tasks like data sharing, optimization, and trading across Web3 and real-world systems. Okay, so they've merged together to build this Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. And the Fetch token, let's have a look. Fetch is actually looking quite good on the higher time frames. Okay, so it's had a long drop back from its big moves, sort of end of 23. This was big during that first AI wave, okay, and it's had plenty of time to cool off. And I still think this is one of the best AI buys you can get. If you go and look at the teams, and you know, the fact that the 3 teams came together to put all their work together is strong, I believe. And look, it's trying to break this 81 cents level. I think this moves really fast, actually, and I do think it can go back up and touch this line again. So you'd be looking at getting from, like, you know, 8 cents, you know, potentially up to $7.50, even further than that, perhaps. This is a good one to watch. And just doing a fib extension on that. Yeah, like some of these levels here. Could 870, if it could break out of this line, I think that would see some sell pressure at that line though, and then you could be going to 8 or 9 or, you know, 11, 12. It really depends how much the AI narrative picks up again as we get into the heated stage of the bull market. Jupiter is the leading DEX aggregator on Solana, routing trades across multiple platforms for the best price and lowest slippage. It powers much of Solana's DeFi ecosystem, enabling token swaps, limit orders, and perpetual trading through its user-friendly interface. Jup is the governance token, allowing holders to vote on upgrades, protocol fees, and treasury usage with strong focus on community. And yeah, Jupiter is one of the top DEX along with Radium, which I'll cover shortly. And let's look at the chart. Yeah, so Jupiter, it's taken quite a beating. So it had all-time highs in March 24 in that little alt season when, you know, AI was kicking off and, you know, all of that sort of thing. And then you had during the elections, it looked like it was going to go up to the all-time highs and then just failed. And then they had the airdrop, the Jupiter airdrop, so there's probably selling pressure from the airdrop. But now it's managed to accumulate for a number of weeks down here, okay, in a W formation, and it's looking to break out of that. I'd like to see it get above the 50-week EMA, and that would be looking strong. But, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's one of the biggest DEXs on Solana, and it will continue to be so. Next up, a couple of chains from the Cosmos ecosystem. Celestia is a modular blockchain network that separates consensus from execution, making it faster and more scalable than traditional monolithic chains. It focuses on data availability, allowing other blockchains like rollups to publish and verify data without handling execution. TIA is a native token it used to secure the network through staking and pay for data availability services. So this was a big narrative a while ago, probably about a year ago now, and modular blockchains. It's where you can be more interoperable and connect with other chains, and more of that cross-chain sort of and cross-protocol usage. So let's have a look at the chart. So yeah, this is one of those ones that literally anyone holding this is pretty much underwater. It had a big launch, lot of hype around it. And just sold off heavily ever since. It's lower highs, it's lower lows, and it's below its launch price. Even the early investors are underwater in this, if they're still in it, that is, if they didn't sell off to all the retail as it was getting hyped. It's a crucial time for TIA. I believe the technology sounded very good. Just whether anyone's using it, there's any, is it gaining any traction? DYOR, of course, and then maybe you might see something there. And yeah, I mean, if it can reclaim this level, start building up some strength again, that would be a good sign. It is kind of like a V-shaped recovery, though. If it breaks through there, that's like a V-shape. And like I say, it's quite a newish coin. I mean, it was launched in 2024, like last year. End of 23. So it's coming up to 18 months old. It's just, let's see what happens with this one. Like I say, we're talking Cosmos coins at the moment, and some are stronger than others. This is Injective. Injective is a lightning fast layer 1 blockchain built for finance, offering fully decentralized order book based trading infrastructure. It's optimized for DeFi applications, enabling spot derivatives and even prediction markets, all on chain and front running resistant. INJ is a native token used for governance, staking, and paying fees across the Injective powered apps. And I believe there is some sort of strong tokenomics for holding this. I believe there's some sort of burn or something, which sounded really good. I don't know off the top of my head right now to reel that off to you, but perhaps we'll cover that in another video. Let's look at the chart. Injective looks good, like I said, the tokenomics I'd like to get to on another video, but this higher lows here, I mean, this, when it was run fantastically, and it's done this a few times now, and I believe it can do it again. It's breaking its downtrend. It's got above the 200-day EMA. Just needs to get above this 50 and this $15-16 level, and it found that as support for quite a while there around that $16 level, and then it broke it off, and if it can reclaim it, I believe it goes straight to 32, then it won't have no issue getting to 52, and then let's see the targets for this one. So I'm really bullish on Injective. I do hold it, full disclosure. And none of this is financial advice, by the way. This is just me doing what I'm doing and just showing you what the options are. But it's not financial advice. And yeah, I want to get that out of the way. Let's look at where it goes. Okay, so if you start breaking this higher, then you're looking at 82. 129, 176. So yeah, this could be a really good entry around here. Just wait for perhaps a little red day. Maybe you see it get rejected from the 16 first of all, then get an entry and see how it goes from there. So PancakeSwap is a decentralized exchange DEX built on BNB chain, offering token swaps, yield farming, and liquidity pools with low fees. It uses an automated market maker model and letting users trade directly from their wallets without intermediaries. Cake is the native token used for staking, earning rewards, and participating in governance and lotteries. Now, for PancakeSwap, I do believe it's going to be a case of when BNB breaks its all-time high again and starts running, this thing's going to run faster and harder. I believe there'll be more interest in the chain again, the BSC chain, and then everyone will be looking at what is the DEX on Binance, and it is PancakeSwap. Undoubtedly, it's the best one. You get all the meme coin launches on there, low caps, anything new that's coming to Binance Smart Chains released on there. And also you can trade other things like coins that are replicated from Ethereum and stuff like that. So I believe this has been accumulating for a long while here. Still at low prices, and I believe if this does move fast and Binance breaks all-time high, this could get up to all-time highs again. And you're looking at, look, you know, like 10, 20x to all-time highs, and it could do it. It could do it. It's just had such a long accumulation, but look how fast it moved there. I mean, look, I know it was a lower market cap there, but you know, it could do it. But it's been really shameful price action, to be fair. It's still under the 800-day EMA, but it's going up to test it now, actually. I mean, like I say, I don't think PancakeSwap's dead in the water. Binance Smart Chain, Binance, they love it still, you know. But then again, you say a lot of people, you know, they're trading on Binance. They're not trading on PancakeSwap. But I think there needs to be a renewed interest in the DEX, and when there is, and if Binance Smart Chain can be successful, this all depends on the success of Binance, really, and its smart chain. Pyth is a decentralized Oracle network that delivers high-frequency, real-time price data from institutional sources to blockchains. It specializes in low-latency data feeds for crypto, equities, forex, and commodities, ideal for trading apps and DeFi protocols. Pyth is a native token used for governance and to incentivize accurate and timely data reporting across multiple chains. Now, if you're like me and you believe that we're starting to see the early signs of alt season, and by that I don't mean that everything's going to start going parabolic straight away. I mean, it's just the start of altcoins doing well from now till the end of the cycle. Now, if you believe that, then you could believe that strong fundamental coins like this are actually bottoming out. Does it mean it's actually bottomed, or whether it's going to come down and create a double bottom? I don't know. It depends how long of the cycle's left and how much narrative picks up on altcoins. But if it becomes one of those alt seasons in months to come where everything's like, you know, being hyped and narratives are being spoken of like the way they have been in the past, then you could expect that this could break the downtrend, and then it could start to get up to its all-time highs again. And from there, it's like you're looking at almost a 10x all-time highs. And could it go further? Who knows? But Pyth is, I don't know, if you use TradingView, you see that just like exchanges, they're running the data for a lot of chains and their coins and everything, and they're doing so much more else behind the background. And the guys behind this are really intelligent guys and a strong team who are devoted to this. So I don't believe it's going anywhere. I believe this could be a bottom here for Pyth. Aerodrome is the leading DEX and liquidity hub on Base. Coinbase's Layer 2 blockchain built with Optimism's tech. It uses VE tokenomics model inspired by Solidity to reward long-term stakers direct emissions toward high-value liquidity pools. AERO is the native token used for governance, voting emissions, and earning protocols fees through staking. Very similar to Uniswap, really. But on Base, which is Coinbase's Layer 2 on Ethereum. Let's look at the chart. These are the sort of coins with strong recoveries from the lows that you kind of want to look for, really. I mean, maybe getting in a little bit late on this one now. You know, it would have been nice to have got in around here. I'm not in it myself. I am not a massive fan of Base. I just find using things like Solana and Sui much easier to use, even near Cardano. I just think the whole, you know, bridging your ETH over and all of this process, just quite a bit long, if you ask me. But then again, like I say, Ethereum's always going to be strong. People are going to be looking to what you can do on Ethereum. And you do have people that want to make the effort and bridge their ETH and buy ETH-based tokens. Don't get me wrong, I do it. I've got a few things on Base and like meme coins and stuff like that. And you know, you go to the effort if you really want that coin. But yeah, I think Aerodrome's the strongest coin on base. Look at these higher lows, absolutely fantastic. It definitely looks like this is going to break through the $1 mark again, and then it's going to 150, and then it's going to 230, and then it's probably going to all-time highs. I think this is one to watch, really. I think if you see it come back down to 78 cents, really good entry for you. And last but not least, Radium is a decentralized exchange, DEX, and automated market maker built on the Solana blockchain, known for its speed and low fees. It integrates with the central order book of Serum, allowing for deep liquidity and fast trade execution across the Solana ecosystem. Ray is the native token used for staking, yield, farming, and participating in governance decisions. As you can see, Radium was launched in the 2021 cycle and took a hard hit during the bear market. And I kind of knew that it was the best exchange on Solana. So I was actually accumulating more Radium down here. So I'm considerably up on my position. You know, it had a great run in up to the meme season of around the election. And it came down, and now it's found a low, now a higher low. You know, can it get the next higher higher? And then all of a sudden you're up not far off challenging all-time highs again. This is volatile as well. Look, it's at around $3 now. Okay, all-time high is like $16. And when you look at this, if these 5 and 13 now ticking up bullish, it's got the 50 EMA and the 200 week EMA, all very close together. Before you know it, this could be breaking through. This is a W pattern with a higher low, and then your break coming up to test the highs again. Now let's see where this can go. Okay, get the fib extension tool from this low to the high to this low. Okay, and then we're looking at targets once you get past the all-time highs. Okay, you're looking at $20, $28, $30. I think this could go higher. Don't forget, this is like, so I've done all of these coins in market cap order, and this was one of the last ones. I think it's like 96 in the top 100. And it's the most used exchange DEX on Solana. If meme season comes back again, can you imagine? This is going to be ridiculous. So yeah, I think this is a really good buy, actually. Let's have a look at where that is now. So I say $3 if you can get it. I think this is going to go up there quite quickly. I think if you it's anywhere around here really, 270. If you can get orders, set your orders down here just in case. I can't see it breaking that low. I just think where we are in the market, if this thing takes off with the rest of the market, you'd be lucky to get in there. It's been down there for so long. You had your chance to get in there if you wasn't in from down here. And I just think this is going to run. And the alt season index says it's not alt season yet, but it's definitely not Bitcoin season at the moment. That's quite a sharp move up, and it can do that like it has done previously, you know, but I think maybe some sort of pullback here first, and that would be the pullback in Bitcoin dominance that I was talking about on my other video. If you didn't see my video from Saturday, make sure you watch that one. Really good one about, you know, after the Genius Act was passed, and I'll go through Bitcoin dominance, total 2, total 3, DXY. Yeah, a lot of charts, and I discussed Bitcoin dominance pullback, so go check that out. But I think if you get the Bitcoin dominance pullback, this will come back down again, and then we'll get the spring up there, and then you know, hopefully we get a nice period of time up there, you know, like we did up here in 2021, and then, you know, even up here we revisited it in 2021. Well, kind of got up there again, but you know, this is just the first sign of alt season, in my opinion. So yeah, and then just looking at Bitcoin dominance, it's still continuing to fall. Yeah, it's looking good. Like I say, maybe a pullback in Bitcoin dominance, maybe retest this 61.8 level, maybe even retest this 63.5 level. That's entirely possible. But I think we are starting to see the early signs. So I hope you've liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me. And don't forget to look in the description to see the link for my Telegram group that I'm just starting now. I've only just opened it. So all of you are welcome to join, and we can maybe talk more on a regular basis and share charts and everything like that this cycle. So see you soon.